Henry, thanks for having me on. I thought you banned me from your channel, but I'm so glad to be back here. For everyone who doesn't know who I am, I'm Steven, the Salon Guy. I'm a hairstylist. I'm also a brand called the Salon Guy. And being that I charge for my own services, whether it's a haircut, you know, I'm $150 for a haircut, which is not the cheapest. No. But the reason I have my price is that I have a laundry list of accomplishments and things that contribute to that. Sure. That's my true value. Sure. So, you know, I'm curious to know from your expertise is how do people find their true value? Yeah. How do they get paid their true value? How do you know, what is the true value?
Yeah, it's a great question. Listen, I'm going to share with you a personal experience and with our audience as well to really give you a well-rounded answer. You know, I've been in the design and branding digital marketing game for 13 years. And I would say at least half of that time, I was underpricing and undervaluing my worth. Why? Because I couldn't see it, I didn't know it, right? It was something that I never paid attention to, but I would resent clients, I would resent myself, I would beat myself up over charging too little, right? And the quality of service just showed. I mean, it was awful, right? And that went on for years until I finally found a mentor that said, what exactly do you do again? And I explained it. And they said, so you basically help business owners scale their expertise and increase the value of their business, right? Through design and marketing strategy and branding. Yeah. Well, how much is that worth to them long-term or lifetime value? Well, I said, I don't know. I never thought of it. I never asked. So they said, you should start asking them what the value that you are going to bring to the table is worth. So when I'm working with a prospect and they're interested in my services, the first question I ask them, well, not first, but I ask them, how much money do you want to make the next year, in the next year? So let's do round number, like $360,000 I want to make. Okay, great. So what percentage of that would you invest in to see that through? And they would say, I don't know, 20% sounds good. Okay. So that's about $72,000. Are you comfortable with spending that? Well, I didn't think of it that way. Well, I don't have that kind of money laying around. Okay, I get that. Not a lot of people do, right? Pause. That is the step that helps you identify the value of what they see you as, right? I bet you any amount of money that you would have just threw out an arbitrary number to this person if they asked you, well, how much is this going to cost? And you would just say, $2,500. Well, look what you just did. See what happens there? Somebody may think to themselves, well, I want to make $360,000, and you know, they may have that number in their head, right? $2,500, that's not going to get me there. And they won't move forward with it because it's not enough of an investment for them to go in. That's one way. The other one is you're cutting your nose off to spite your face because they may say, well, 20%. And you may say, $2,500. Well, that's nowhere near that. So you're underpricing yourself, right? So when somebody comes to me like that and they say 72 grand, then listen, I get it. It's a lot of money. A lot of people don't have that laying around. What we can do is phase this out. Rome wasn't built in a day. So we can phase this out, but I can tell you this, to do the proper strategy up front and to really help you get a better understanding, it's going to be $10,000. So why don't we do this? Why don't we start there and then we build this out incrementally, you know, over time. But it will be a minimum engagement of $10,000 to help you get that. Would you be more comfortable with that, right? And then just let them talk, right? And so that's how you start to build up your true worth. And, you know, it really is a belief. It's all up here when it comes to worth. You know, I was blessed to have a mentor come into my life and tell me, Henry, you're leaving a lot of money on the table here. You're a tremendous asset to your clients. And if you don't know that, if you don't believe that, they're not going to believe that. So you really need to understand that.
I think a lot of people associate, they put a price tag on value, meaning my hourly rate, like I'm 150 an hour. That's my actually my rate. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, so hourly pricing, I really feel like is a limitation to any service-based business. Because here's what happens. They pay you $150 for 1 hour. Once that hour is done, that's it. There's no more transaction. There's no more value to be given. That's it. So it's very limiting, okay? So if I were to ask one of your clients, after Steve styles your hair, what is that worth to you long term? What is that worth to you knowing that you have a big speaking engagement coming up where you need to look perfect? What's that worth to you? Just $150?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So people, I can just see like you're nonverbal just told me, right? Holy shit, I should be charging more for that.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why these big salons up in the city, in New York City, they're charging $500 to $2,000 to sit down with them for an hour or 90 minutes to get them styled, right?
Yeah.
And people are paying it. Why? Because there's a huge, huge difference when it comes to level of value and the perception of value, right? These people have if they get on stage, this person you styled, right, and they look like hell, how much money and embarrassment did it cost them? Way more than $150.
Yeah.
That's why I think when you bill hourly, you're leaving a lot of money on the table.
Interesting. And that goes for all professions?
I think so, yes.
There's a lot of lawyers. I'm $500 an hour. You're getting this from me for an hour.
Yeah, listen, I think that they're truly limited because let's think about this for a second. Let's take an injury attorney, right? Somebody comes to them and says, I was badly hurt in an accident, right? Almost lost my leg. Or maybe they lost their leg, right? What is that worth to that person? Long-term, lifetime value, right? Yet the lawyer's only charging $550 an hour. The lawyer is missing out on a tremendous amount. Now, we could take this as far as you want, right? You know, if they win, you know, with the settlement, like the lawyer gets a piece, right? You could go there. But just for this sake, right, for this conversation, I believe that you're missing a lot of opportunity when you're billing by the hour. Because again, I believe that the value that you deliver far exceeds the hourly rate. So you really want to help the customer understand that value by asking similar questions to what I just mentioned to get them to understand, wow, what is the cost? What is the opportunity? What is the risk if I do not invest in this program? I
have one for you that's going to throw you off. What if you say to somebody, my program is $50K, and somebody comes back and they say, $50K? Break down that $50K right now. Let's go. People asked me in the past, all right, you want 15, 20? Break it down. All right, give me 5 for this, 4 for this. What do you want to get? And that's your true value. That's
right.
But like sometimes as owners, we have as much room as we want. We can bump it up. We can do whatever we want.
Right.
You know, what happens in that scenario when somebody's like, no, I want you to break down your value?
Okay.
How do you handle that scenario?
So it's easy. So it sounds to me that you're looking for certain KPIs, key performance indicators, to help you get a better understanding of what the return is on this investment. So my question to you is, what are those KPIs? What are you looking for this program to do for you to help you get your end desired result? I give it right back to them, right?
Yeah.
I don't try to go line by line and itemize the whole thing. They're going to tell me what they're looking for. Whether or not I can deliver that is dependent upon those KPIs. So I'm not going to try to continue to sell myself. I can go through a laundry list and then be like, that's not what I'm looking for. So save your breath, ask them the question, and let them do the talking. And then you can look at the list, and you should be writing notes, and say, well, we can handle all of this. So with this $50,000 investment, looks like all of these issues would be taken care of. So when are we moving forward?
That's why he's good. You're good.
So that's it. I mean, you know, Stephen, a lot of folks try to take the burden too quickly from the prospect, okay? I was reading a book recently, and they said in the book, your lack of planning is not my emergency. So you got to keep that in mind, right? And keep the conversation very black and white, right? They came to you with a problem. We have a potential solution. Let's see if we can help you get a solution that you're looking for. No more, no less. And just be really objective, like factual, like boom, this is what it's going to be. Do you want it or not? And like let them have the light bulb click, right? That's the key, is letting them really set the value. And if they come in too low, then you say, okay, well, maybe I misheard you, but it sounds to me you have a $100,000 problem here, and you're only willing to invest $3,000? Like, that's where you're signing up for the minors, but you're looking for a major return. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. So there's plenty other firms out there that could probably help you do this for $3,000. I mean, I don't know what the quality of work is going to be or what their process is, but you can go give them a try if you want. And you start to plant that seed of doubt, and then they're like, oh, shit, you know, I should have, you know, you get what you pay for. All these things start to go in their mind, and then they say, well, you know, can you break down this investment into some payments? That'd be a little helpful to me to digest and pay, and that's when you can work it out. So there's always a way.
So my haircuts are $850 now, and thanks to him.
Good.
I'm doing one client a year. That's it.
So that's how you scale. You know, that's how I took my business. So again, 2017, 48 clients. 2018, 8. Made more money in 2018 than 2017 because I scaled and because I knew my true worth and I charged it. So the quality of your brand is going to determine the quality of your clients. And when people see that, it's going to be a much easier decision for them to trust you and say, you're my guy.
I gotta ask you one more question.
Go ahead.
Have you ever fired a client?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. You know, there was a time where it just wasn't working out. The person wasn't a bad person, okay? I'm sure if under different circumstances, I would be a drinking buddy with this guy, right? Problem was, I felt like I was torturing him. He just didn't believe in the process. He didn't trust the process. And it just wasn't a good fit, right? My team was getting milked and they were getting juiced. And I felt bad for them because they were just getting overworked and there was no appreciation for it. So I had to call timeout and had to make the necessary adjustments to say, listen, let's come to a amicable agreement here. We'll give you X amount back, you know, whatever the case may be. We want to make sure that it's fair. I have to get paid my work, the time that I put in, and let's just go our separate ways because I don't want to torture anybody, right? And so you cut that early, and you're good, right?
Someone could actually try to undervalue you. What if you come in and say it's $50K, and they go, I see it more like, you know what I mean? Someone's trying to undercut you.
So, yeah, so they're nickel and diming.
Yeah, they're trying to nickel and dime.
They're nickel and diming. So when they nickel and dime, you could just say, listen, I'm sure that there's thousands of agencies out there that can do this cheaper. Why are you talking to me?
Just feel confident. Don't worry about it. Just do it.
Why are you talking to me? And just be quiet. And don't be afraid of that silence. Too many people are afraid of silence, right? And they have to fill that space, that dead air. No, leave it. Why are you talking to me? And just let them go. Sometimes they'll get so flustered, you know, right? Maybe I should just go somewhere else. Maybe. You didn't do anything wrong. Again, their issues are not your problem. When they engage you, when they actually sign the contract and send you the payment, then their problems become your problems. And then you help them solve it. But don't take that burden on without being engaged. you're setting yourself up. So some sales stuff there.
Wow, man, this is unbelievably valuable to me, and I'm sure your viewers. This deserves an Oscar. This video. I mean, this is the whole book. This damn video. You better watch this over and over again, folks. All right?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Go check out some more videos here to help you build a more reputable and profitable brand for yourself. Hope you take some of this and run with it, because I know it's going to help you scale and really bring you the brand that you're proud to promote.